Now that I'm 52 years old, I'm having a midlife crisis.
This is some bullshit, Joe.
GMTV Garage with John Clay Wolfe.
Hello again. In this video, we're going to cover my midlife crisis I'm going through right now and recover my two high school cars, a K5 Blazer and an M3 BMW. And you're also going to see if I get the 67 GTO looking Tempest thing bought out of a storage unit from a full-blown hoarder. We are also going to meet a Polish man that called into the radio show and drove down blindly from Chicago to finish the fire chicken that is an unfinishable build. So in 1991, my Blazer got stolen. My Blazer was my life. My dad surprised me with it, lucky, when I was a kid. It was stock, white, with maroon guts. I got this thing looking so good, it got stolen. And I watched it get stolen, and I was just heartbroken. I filed an insurance claim on the car. They paid me for the car. They paid me for all the add-ons. Homeowner's insurance kicked in and covered some things that were inside of it. And so I had a lot more money than what we paid for the car. My other heart car that I was dying for was a BMW M3. My mom lived in Connecticut. She found one in the New York Times. She sent me the clipping and the pictures from the dealer, and they went and test drove it, and I bought a 1990 M3 over the phone. I'm elated, and I drive this thing for a while. The financial situation changed. I needed to sell it, and I wholesaled it for $2,000 more than what I paid for it. These are the first two car deals I ever did in my life. Obviously, I've bought and sold over 500,000 cars now, and I still think about those two cars a lot. And I'm so deep in this, I'm like, man, I need to do the thing where you go find your old car. But I tell some guys that work with me, hey, I'm looking for a white with burgundy, late 80s K5 Blazer. And I'm also looking for a white M3. And this fella in San Francisco the area that works for us didn't find one of them. He found both of them in 24 hours. How the hell does that happen? Now, I haven't seen these cars yet, but they're sitting on the other side of this door. And to say I'm excited is an understatement. I'm like giddy. I don't know what to do. So let's go check this out, see what we got. It's not a Tempest then, hang on. It's a big ass boat, okay. Convertible with a GTO looking front end. Is it a Le Mans?
Yeah, that's what that would be.
I think it's a Tempest.
But there was here that the Tempest was real small.
Is there a difference?
Yes.
One's called a Tempest, one's called a Le Mans?
Yeah, trim package.
Is it like a Chevelle and a Malibu?
Correct.
Same effing car?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I think that we just rebrand it as a GTO and call it a clone, and it brings more, and everybody's happier. Yeah, if he's there, I'll run over there. All right, I'll be there in a minute. We gotta go. We gotta go buy a Tempest or a Le Mans or a GTO, some Pontiac. You know what Pontiac stands for? I can't tell you, but comment below. You can get kicked off, not me. I think we made a loose agreement, and I'm gonna run over here and check it out. So between now, Wednesday afternoon, and Friday morning, we got to get this thing running and delivered to our facility in Dallas, Texas. Where are we going? Next neighbor?
He's down the way here.
Right.
Apprentice.
We'll go see him.
Yeah,
What's this fella working on?
John.
Hi.
Okay, so Tempest, Le Mans, GTO, what is it?
It's a 67 Tempest.
Tempest, okay. Tell me what all it needs.
I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it in 11 years. It runs fine. It looks good.
Yeah.
It's a good 15-footer.
Right.
The seats are actually look like they've been recovered.
Yeah, they're fine.
Engine.
Yep.
It's pretty original.
Mm-hmm. Let's start with the long dead car that I lost, and how do we bring it back? We got like 31 BFGs. I think I'm going to go back with 33s instead of the 35s because my old ass is hard to get up, and I can put 3 or 4 inches on this thing. The paint looks good. This is stupid. It needs to go. These were chrome, so I'm going to swap that out. Do I want to go back with the front end that I changed out? Because this is the one on 86, 87, 88, 89. In the 90, 91, they changed the front end, which I changed my 88 to the different front end. Got to get rid of this shit, clean it up. The difference between this one and my old one, which is a good thing, is it's got an LS in it. This needs to be cleaned up. I need to put a new pad in it. I want to repaint all this. Get rid of the stupid bug shield. Screw it, we're gonna change out the front end. Get rid of this crap. Lift it, wheel it, tire it. Then I'm gonna put the black moldings on it to look like the 91. Yeah, this is weird, dude. I'm having flashbacks. This dash pad, trash. This is dumb, trash. I don't know what the hell this is, but it's probably trash. Well, this is a great rig to build because it's already straight, solid, doesn't need body work. You know, one thing, all these had this stupid little thing that fell off of them all the time. And then these hangy bags, that was a problem in those squares. So we'll need to replace these, replace this and glue them in right. I don't like billet crap. I want the stocks. Dash looks good. I'm gonna go back with the Alpine CD player and I'm gonna put the Alpine EQ right here. A little too pipey for me, but we're gonna go straight pipes. I mean, not straight pipes, we'll do duals. I had plenty of memories on this tailgate. Yeah. Kick panel's missing or it's not right. We'll have to replace that, I want it perfect. I had an amp right here. He told me there was a sub. That's weird. That's actually pretty good, but it's not my Toby box. So, and then when you guys see some 50-year-old guy driving around in a badass K5 white Blazer, that will be me because I'm gonna be driving this bitch. I wanna build one that I can drive. The only difference I think we're gonna do is I'm gonna do coilovers in the front and long leafs in the back, long travels, so that it has the modern ride. Because if you're really gonna drive it, it needs to drive well, because I drive a lot. What could possibly go wrong if you gave the keys to your house, your business, to a total stranger? Well, I just did that, and I'm afraid I'm about to find out. I get a call on Saturday from Mel, the cook at the Rattlesnake, said there's a guy in here, he wants your phone number, I'm not gonna give it to him. He drove down from Chicago to fix your fire chicken.
Are you still looking for somebody to finish your 79 Trans Am down there, the anniversary?
Yeah, do you want to come down here and do it?
Yeah, I would like to.
Do you know how to do it?
I got 200 under my belt.
Will you go to jcwshow.com, click email John, and shoot me a note? I'm ready to get that car finished. We always got to be skeptical of someone driving all the way down from Chicago unannounced. But the more I'm talking to this guy, he may be the real deal. Jesus Christ, we need to finish this damn Trans Am. It started with Squirrel, it went to Greg, it's gone to Thing 1, Thing 2. Ken's worked on it some. It's gonna take a guy from Chicago to show us all. I wonder if he's Polish. Hey, are you Polish? No. Damn, can I say you're Polish? If you want. Okay. You know, when I started on the air in Chicago for a minute, they said no Polish jokes, so I'm not gonna tell any. I'll just leave that to Archie Bunker. But did you hear the one about the two Polacks that went to the drive-in and they froze to death? They went to see Closed for the Season. We'll be back. I'll tell you how bad I wanted that Blazer back, because I bought this one about 3 years ago, and I built it very similar to what we're gonna do with that one. But as dumb as this sounds, it wasn't white and red. So I'm gonna pull this one up next to that one and see the difference in stance. Okay, so this is that front end I'm talking about. That's the 90 and 91. So we whited this out, the black part white. I'm gonna do the exact same thing all the way down to everything. I mean, if you wanna get technical, this one may be prettier. This is a pretty son of a bitch, but it rides rough and it's not white and red. That's a big difference in height, holy shit. It's like real man and little man. But that one looked like that one when it got here. I'm gonna order all the parts, get this build set up, and we're gonna build this thing in 3 days. That means everything's gotta be here, everything's gotta be ready, we gotta work overtime. You're actually gonna see me do something, and we're gonna knock her out. You actually showed up. You're the guy from the radio?
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Bill Lindblade.
Lindblade.
Yes, sir.
Chicago. Did you stay at the saloon this weekend?
Yes.
How
Thank
was
you
it?
very much.
How was it?
Like the Hilton.
We're in a small town. There's 700 people
I
here,
know,
man.
man. Hey,
You're
you-
on the moon. Like you could kill me or I could kill you, and nobody know about it for a while.
Good thing they know where I'm at.
Right? You're as scared of me as I am of you. I got a call from the cook at the Rattlesnake, and she says, some guy's down here saying he just drove in from Chicago to work on your Trans Am.
Absolutely.
And I was like, it was hitting me, you know, because we talked about it on the air 2 weeks ago, but on the air I'm going 500 miles an hour. And I was like, I couldn't remember. So I was busy and I had Ken, the shop manager, go talk to you. How did he act when you met him?
Awesome.
Well, what was the first thing he said to you?
What's my experience? And I'm like, well.
He told me that he said, you got 10 minutes to tell me why I should hire you.
He did.
And what'd you tell him?
I got hired, so I don't know. I got a lot of experience. I got a couple hundred of these under my belt. So.
100 redos? Really?
Well, between Z28s and Trans Ams and everything, yeah.
Are you a GM guy?
No, I do everything.
Okay. You know, I know why this guy drove all the way down here to be with us is he's missing something in his life. A lot of people are after COVID. It just changed things. You know, it just the isolation and the way the world changed after COVID. People want to be part of something. That's how this whole Wolfe Pack community formed. Tell me about these Ferraris.
Interesting story on this one. You ever see the movie Die Another Day, James Bond with Pierce Brosnan?
No?
That movie was made the first year that Ferrari F355 came out. So they wanted to have one of those on the set. It was a movie prop. No engine, no transmission, and it didn't really have a serial number either. I found a 355. I was going to switch things over, but they're kind of the same. Nothing. Some things just don't.
Is this car titled? It looks like a race car. It's not titled.
It is titled.
So it's got a VIN. You're going to put the VIN over there?
I have one title.
For 2 cars?
2 cars.
It's like you're a polygamist, a polygamist?
Yeah. So I've taken parts off of this, put on that. I've even got the engine and transmission, but honestly, I think this could be a future EV Tesla power plant conversion. I think would be easier to do.
I think he's future wrong, and it's going to be a future piece of shit. Well, where did you buy this wrecked one?
Once I bought this car, I got on some of the Ferrari chat rooms, and someone told me that he knew somebody that was racing, and his rolled.
Mm-hmm. It did roll.
So.
Yeah.
So tell me about this car. Is it further along or not as far along as what you expected?
No, but I've only been into it an hour, so
Right.
I'm still getting my bearings on everything.
You thought it was further along than
Yes,
this?
I thought the bird was on it and everything.
Oh, then what the hell would we need you for?
My parents owned a body shop since I've been 3 years old.
Really?
So, yeah.
So how did you even find out about us?
Actually, I saw you on Coffee Walk with Dennis.
Yeah?
Yeah, 2 years ago, though.
Right.
And, but you're not on in Chicago, so I got to watch you on YouTube on Saturday mornings.
Okay. So you're a show fan?
Yes.
Cool.
But I was in Denver house sitting for my friend for 3 weeks, and you were on there every morning, or, every
Right,
Saturday.
yeah.
So I'm like, So I started listening every week, and
We creep up on people. It's weird. Our guy, they turn into like family. So that's why you came down this far. You felt like you knew me. Okay.
absolutely,
That's cool. I understand that. We're going to finish this car.
we are. I thought it was going to take me a week, but it might be a hair over that.
I feel good about it. Man, I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, dude. All right. I'll see you in a week.
Okay, you
right.
got it.
I bet you wonder what the hell I'm doing. And why I would take this ugly one and want to trade it for this pretty one.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
Because we're going to turn this ugly one into a pretty one. And we're going to do it in 3 days. And here's what we're going to do. 33 1250s, 10-inch deep Outlaw 2s, 4-inch lift with coilovers, building my car back that got stolen to the T. Body moldings.
This appears to be a 6.0.
How do you know? How can you tell? Because I don't know the difference.
Based off of the intake, the height of it,
Okay.
it likely came out of, at first, it looks like it may be from a 2500, but it's got a
Well, if it's 2500, then it's a 6.0, right?
Well, yeah, it's still a 6.0, but it's got the 4L60 transmission on it. So
Okay.
it likely came out of a Denali, Yukon XL, or even an Escalade, something like that. But it's still a good engine.
And I
That's
want it
fair.
to ride like a new car.
Yeah, fair.
So that's where it's going to get funky. The old one didn't have the swap, but these motors are so good. Let's do it. I mean, it's perfect. But when we're done, she's all got to work and work right.
Yeah, of course.
But I want to line all the parts up. I want to line everything up, and I want to do this in 3 days
Yeah.
and film it and erase on the clock. I got this truck bought for 25 grand. I think it's okay. And then I think we'll have 40 grand in it by the time we're done, maybe 45. And then at the end of that, we'll have a truck that's worth 50 or 60 grand. I do believe that. But it really doesn't matter on this one. For once in my life, it doesn't matter because I'm keeping it. Yeah, I need to spend, I don't know, what do I need to spend on it? 4,000?
I think I could probably spend about 5 or 6 hours and get it running and driving. And then all the rest of the stuff, the trim and all that, I'll let whoever buys it take care of that.
If I sell it like it sits in the world I'm in, it'll bring 5 grand. I'm running. So I need to get the trim and I've got to tighten it up.
I kind of disagree with you on that. You can buy a rusted piece of junk that is about a $5,000.
In this body style?
Running, it's pretty close to 10, no matter where. And the stuff done to it, it's pushing 15 to 18.
I was thinking 10 when I came over here. I'll give 75 because it's just a project. I just have problems with projects. I can't seem to get them done.
Well, you know, that's what I paid for it 11 years ago. And I've got 11 years of storage fees. And it's appreciated some side. I wouldn't do it for $7,500.
What's the least you'd take?
10.
I like it. I do this to try to make a profit. I don't understand this market. Maybe I need to quit. Sell the bitch.
I get it.
And I don't think I'll make a profit. Even if you get it running, I'm going to have to tow it. You get it running, I'll give 10. You do the stuff.
I get running and it's going for 12.
Well, okay, then I never came over here on the idea that it wasn't going to be running.
How about 9?
I need it running because I buy it as a brick, and then I get in there and I run into the real, problems that we don't foresee, and then I've got real problems. Okay. Running, it takes enough risk out of it. Doesn't have to be running great. It just needs to be running. You get it running, I'll give 10.
Tell you what, when I list it, I'll let you know.
All right.
I'll spend a day and get it running.
All right. Well, let me know when it's running. M1 was the first motorsports car. Alpina was their motorsports division. But that the engineers at BMW hooked up and they did this M thing called motorsports. If you notice this car, it's like a wide body Porsche. It's got fender flares on the front and the back that pop out. Big spoiler. It's not turbocharged, but it's 4 valves per cylinder. And redline is like 7,800, just call it 8,000. This bitch revs high and it turns incredible. There was an example of one of these with like 5,000 miles on it that sold for $210,000 the other day. Yeah, these cars are back. Paul Walker, he was into these. You know what the best thing to do with this one? Stop talking, let's go drive it. Boom, little short throw shifter. Clutch tight. This thing just runs smoother than hell. And feel these turns. I hope I don't hit a dog or something. How fast are we going? 45, not that bad. She just doesn't have much body roll. They built it for a race series and then they made, I don't know, 5,000 of them? It wasn't that many. They had the M5, the M6, and the M3 in the 80s. And this is the one that's worth the most because it's the best. We've got a busted windshield, probably had it happen in transport. Got to replace that. The radio's locked out, like all of them. The air is blowing not cold, so he had to get a conversion kit to put the new type of Freon in it. This one doesn't have an airbag like they had in 90. There's a little craze here on the rear view. Probably need to fix that. But this thing's clean. First gear in this car is very short, so it can get off the line because it doesn't have a lot of torque because it's a 4-cylinder. So, 7,000. Perfectly straight. 6,000 RPM, I'm shifting it out at 6. That's another waste of time.
What?
They said they sold it to me for 10,000. He'd get it running. They get over there, it's not running. I said, get it running. I'll give you 10,000. It's kind of a piece of shit. He said, well, if I'm getting it running, then I gotta charge 12,500. It's just, those cars can be 25 grand. This one given 10, it would cost 5 to get it to 20. And it's just a little bit of a project.
You come into my home, you go get yourself a beer, which you're fully allowed to do, but then you come into my office without bringing me one.
Well,
this is some bullshit, John. Some freaking bullshit.
This midlife crisis thing I'm laughing about and bringing these old cars back into my life is filling a hole inside of me as well. But remember to tune in Saturday mornings, man. We're live on our YouTube channel for 4 hours. We're on radio stations around the country live, and it's a really good time.